They discovered the most effective interrogation method in modern history almost by accident. And it didn't involve a single act of violence. Picture a locked room, a metal chair, a single overhead light, and across the table nothing. No questions, no accusations, just a man in a uniform, seated, watching, saying absolutely nothing at all. For the first 10 minutes, the prisoner waits for the interrogation to begin. At 20 minutes, he starts talking just to fill the space. By the 1-hour mark, he is confessing to things no one has even asked him about. This wasn't a glitch in the process. It was the process. During the Cold War, intelligence services on both sides of the Iron Curtain ran thousands of interrogations using conventional pressure, threats, sleep deprivation, physical coercion. But analysts noticed something strange in the data. The confessions extracted through brutal pressure were often unreliable. People said anything to make the pain stop, true or not. But a smaller number of interrogators had stumbled onto something else entirely. Something that produced confessions that held up. Confessions that were detailed, specific, and most disturbingly voluntary. They had discovered that human beings cannot tolerate an empty room. The human mind is wired for response. A question demands an answer. An accusation demands a defense. But silence demands nothing and offers nothing back. No target to push against. No accusation to deny. Just the crushing, expanding weight of your own thoughts, echoing with no one to argue with. Trained interrogators learned to use this with surgical precision. They would sit. They would wait. They would let the prisoner's own imagination do the interrogating for them, because a mind left alone in silence does not default to calm. It defaults to fear. It begins inventing worse scenarios than reality, filling the void with its own guilt. By the time the interrogator finally spoke, often just a single quiet sentence, the prisoner had already interrogated himself far more thoroughly than any question could have managed. This is the part almost no one talks about. The method didn't stop at prison walls. The same silence-based mechanism was later documented in corporate negotiations, courtrooms, and even in personal relationships. A partner who goes quiet mid-argument, a boss who lets a mistake sit unspoken for days, a negotiator who says nothing after naming their price. In every case, the silence forces the other party to fill it, usually with concessions, confessions, or fear they never intended to reveal. Modern psychologists have a name for this: the anxiety of ambiguity. Human beings will do almost anything to escape it, including handing over information, power, or leverage they would never have surrendered under direct pressure. Here's the detail that should genuinely unsettle you. Studies on interrogation efficacy have consistently found that confessions obtained through silence and rapport-based waiting are more accurate and more likely to hold up than those obtained through force. The gentlest-looking method in the room was, in measurable terms, the most effective one, which means the most dangerous person in any negotiation, any interrogation, any relationship is not the one raising their voice. It's the one who doesn't need to. The next time someone goes quiet in a moment that seems to demand a response, pay attention to what happens inside you. That discomfort you feel is not an accident. It is a lever, and now you know exactly who's pulling it. If this changed how you think about the power of silence, you already understand more about influence than most people ever will. Tell me in the comments, have you ever felt someone use silence against you, and did you recognize it in the moment? This channel exists to name the mechanisms of power most people are never taught to see. Subscribe to keep opening the files. And if this one pulled you in, the companion piece on isolation as a control mechanism is linked right here. Black File Society exists for people who study power. Join us.